Hello everyone, welcome to my pre-online tutorial for the new SAT Math section. This is problem number 12, practice test 4, section 4, calculator allowed, found in the new SAT official study guide. Okay, so in the xy plane, the graph of function f has x-intercepts at -3, -1, and 1. Which of the following could define f? So first of all, let's understand what x-intercept means. It's x-intercept is found on the x-axis, right? So that means points where y is equal to 0, and y in this case is the function f, right? So x values, x-intercepts are x values that produce the functional value of 0, right? So if you plug in these x values in the function, in the polynomial, one of the given polynomials here, we'll have to figure out which one, the function will equal 0. So let's see. So if we plug in -3, we can't plug in -3 anywhere here, right? Because, I mean, you can, but you're not going to produce a 0, because anywhere you plug it in here, it's not 0, this thing, right? You plug it in here, it's not going to be 0, it's -4. You plug it in here, it's going to be -6. So there's no way that this polynomial can define the function, right? Because it has different factors. So in other words, you can determine factors. If -3 is an x-intercept, or an x value that produces a functional value of 0, that means x minus -3 is a factor, which means x plus 3 is a factor, right? So let's find x plus 3. So this is another way of looking at it, right? X plus 3. Here it is. Let's plug in -3 here. And I'm going to show you that it works, because if you plug in -3, this whole thing will be 0. And 0 multiplying anything else, whatever it is going to be 0. So that's going to give you a functional value of 0. So this one works. -1. That means x plus 1 is a factor, right? Because x minus -1 is a factor. So x plus 1 is a factor. Here it is. Let's check it. -1, plug it in. It's going to be 0. That's another way, right? So that's definitely an x-intercept. It gives you a functional value of 0. So remember, if you turn one of these guys into a 0, everything else will be a 0, which means the functional value will be 0, right? So what about 1? X value of 1. So that means x minus 1 is a factor, right? So if you plug in 1, let's plug in 1 here. You can plug it in here. See? It's going to give you a 0. This guy makes everything else 0. Even though these guys are not 0 with a 1, this guy makes 0. Right? So this definitely has to be the polynomial. It can define the function, because you have 3 factors satisfying these x values that represent x-intercepts that make the function value of equal 0. Right? So this is the correct answer choice. You can see that this one doesn't work, because if you plug in well, let's see, if you plug in 1, for example, here, it's not going to give you a value of 0. So there's no way that this can be the function. If you plug in -1 here, in either of these fellows here, you're not going to get 0. Right? And as we discussed earlier, we warded off a because a was not satisfied for one of these.